Say hello to the new Sony Xperia XZs. It may look like an Xperia XZ, feel like an Xperia XZ, and in many ways it shares the same hardware as the XZ. But under the hood, Sony's implemented a handful of upgrades that seek to make this the Xperia handset to get, so long as you aren't craving the ultra high-res 4K screen of the Xperia XZ Premium. But if 1080p is more your speed, the 5.2-inch XZs has what you need. The phone's design is a near-perfect replica of the Xperia XZ, and unless you know what you're looking for, you might be hard-pressed to spot any discrepancies. They're precisely the same size and share the same weight. Place them side by side though, and you may notice the raised camera bump on the XZs, hinting at one of the first big upgrades here. Unlike the XZ with its 23-megapixel camera, the Xperia XZs picks up the same new motion eye camera debuting with the XZ Premium. While its 19-megapixel sensor gives it a slightly lower resolution than the XZ's camera, the same 1/2.3-inch sensor size means a 10% larger pixel size here, and who doesn't like increased light sensitivity from their smartphone's camera? But more than that, Sony taps into the power of camera-integrated memory to cut through processing bottlenecks and allow the XZs to film slow-motion footage at a staggering 960 frames per second. Seeing that kind of slow-mo in action can be a little disorientating, as the subjects you're filming seem to be almost frozen in place. Switching over to slow-mo is as easy as tapping an on-screen icon while filming regular full-speed video. While the XZs shares that camera hardware with the XZ Premium, not all of the high-end phone's upgrades carry over to this handset. Take the processor for instance. While the Premium runs the new Snapdragon 835, the XZs falls back to the same Snapdragon 820 we already got with the first Xperia XZ. And while we dig the presence of stereo front-facing speakers here, the XZs lacks some of the high-quality audio support of the Premium. Still, there are tweaks to the old XZ hardware here and there. While that phone landed with 3GB of RAM, the XZs bumps that figure up to 4GB. Storage options remain at 32GB and 64GB, constrained to the single and dual SIM editions of the phone respectively. MicroSD expansion is available for both. Color options are ice blue, warm silver, and black, not too far removed from the XZ's forest blue, platinum, and mineral black. No matter which you choose, the XZs enjoys water resistance with an IP65 or IP68 rating. Another holdover from the Xperia XZ is the 2900 mAh battery here, and while Sony loves to talk about all the battery life extending technologies it uses, we had that same tech with the XZ, and while that phone had acceptable battery life, it was by no means at the head of the pack among its peers. Much like Apple with its S models, we're not looking at Sony reinventing the wheel with the XZs. In fact, compared to those iPhones, the upgrades here are arguably even more reserved. A new camera and more RAM, but still very much a phone we're going to think of as an XZ. As a result, we doubt many current owners are going to feel tempted to upgrade, and instead expect Sony to target shoppers coming from much older phones. Sales of the Xperia XZs are on track to get started in early April, when the phone will sell for the very flagship level price of nearly $700. Considering the new crop of flashier handsets arriving this spring from other manufacturers, to say nothing of the Xperia XZ Premium, that could be a tough sell, and we're curious to see if Sony's got the marketing muscle to make the XZs shine. I'm Stephen Shank with PhoneArena. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to catch all of our Mobile World Congress 2017 coverage.